pencil, so it's a lot thinner. That way you have more control.
To photograph. I'm not code or anything, but this is just so that we have such a success in you all being here. Thank you.
And you don't want to fill them too dark. So when you're filling them, you start from like right here. And whatever you brush out, you just bring it forward. That way it's not too dark in the front. Yeah.
No. Okay.
And then we go in and start outlining from the top.
That's a
This is probably my favorite step because it really crisps the entire eyebrow. And really, whenever you're putting the eyebrow product on before you do this step, you don't have to be super accurate because this is where it really just cleans it up and gives you that sharp edge and shape. Jump in whenever.
I'm sorry. Smell it.
Melisha, what made you choose that color concealer? What made you choose that color concealer?
So the reason why I chose this color is because I'm gonna blend it downwards so that when I'm doing her eyeshadow, I'm gonna use it everywhere. So it's concealer to clean the eyeshadow and also to use as a base for your eyeshadow.
So I see you chose a shade that is also a little bit brighter too, which I think also gives you that nice pop underneath the brow to again really accentuate the brow shape and make it look really clean, while also giving it that really nice little lift.
Yeah.
Not that she needs one.
No, but I do need like cleaning because my eyebrows are very thick and they're very curly. Yeah.
And then with it also being lighter, it's a good, since you're going to be using it as the base for your eyeshadow, it's going to make the eyeshadow pop.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like already at this step I can already see the difference in her brows from when she didn't
Yeah.
have anything on to now.
Because they're just very curly. They grow like crazy.
the top application, you're using a shade that's a little bit closer to her complexion, which will then, of course, blend with the rest of her skin.
This concealer that she's using is our newer, the Radiance, the Studio Radiance Concealer. What I like about it is I've been using this on different skin types, ages, textures, and it literally has been working with every single person. So she definitely picked a really good one. It's very creamy, it blends smoothly, it's hydrating. And even though it's hydrating, I have really oily skin. It goes well with oily skin too, so you don't have to worry about it sliding all over the place.
Does it crease?
It doesn't crease, but I always still recommend when you're using a concealer to have like a setting powder just to ensure that it stays in place.
I love the coverage.
Is both concealers like a medium coverage?
It's a medium to full coverage, so it's buildable. So on days where you want to wear it a little bit lighter, you can.
Okay.
Then you can also build it, put a little bit extra. If you're gonna go for like a night out, you wanting a little bit extra, you know.
You can build on top of it. Okay.
Everything is curly. And everything is so and then like one, I think it's
Okay, another thing about this concealer, not only is the coverage great, works with different
So I'm
types
going
of.
to use this embedded in burgundy. So you have your 2 matte colors and then you have 4 shimmers. We're going to start with the lighter one as this color.
What brush are you using?
It's a pointed brush, a pointed blending brush.
I love that brush because it's fluffy. So when you blend, especially with more like bolder shades, it blends really nicely. It already softens, so that way you don't have any harsh lines, especially from using bold shades, you know, like a darker color. It may come off a little too intense. So the fluffiness of that brush really helps to soften those edges to make it just kind of melt into the skin and almost create like a gradient, like a deep to light.
And then I'm just going to lift her into her brow a little bit, just so I can get more space. And then you start blending in a circle.
applying it, she's kind of pressing it in first,
Mm-hmm.
and that's gonna minimize having like that fallout of color on your face, and then just kind of blending it in.
Now I'm gonna go into a little bit of brown.
Is the darker color always on the outside, or
Um,
does it matter?
yeah, you can put it in like the inner and the outer. If you're gonna do like a halo, so you do the dark on the outside, the dark on the inside, and then the lighter color in the middle. So there's different ways that you can actually use the darker one, but it's not only at the end. Maybe do like just a soft one.
So you press the color in first and then you use the point of the brush to blend it out. Okay.
And typically when we do the deeper color on the outside, it's kind of to kind of create that gradient from light to deep. So it is going to be some sort of a smoky eye. Again, you don't have to use like a black or anything super dark. You could do a lighter smoky eye where like the deepest point is going to be like a chocolate brown. So you can really customize it, but doing it that way where you do have the deepest shade on the outside really helps create that beautiful blend. And we already know Mel right here is the queen of blends, so I'm very excited to see the end result.
So now for the inner corner, we're gonna add two different shades of the shimmer. So I'm gonna start with the lighter one and then go into a slightly darker one. You just wanna add it in. With the shimmers, you don't really do much blending.
Does anyone have any questions so far on any step that she's done or any of the products that we can answer for you? It's a safe space, so please don't be shy. Ask any question that you need at any time.
So the first shimmer that I used was this one. Now I'm gonna go with this one. And I'm using the same brush. You don't have to like change brushes for every step of the eyeshadow.
And I really love that palette that you chose because You can customize it. There are shades in there that you can wear during the daytime to make it more natural, and then you do have the deeper shades that you can add to kind of dress it up for a nighttime look. Half of that palette is shimmer, and the other half is matte too, so you have a good, you know, difference in texture. And then all of the shades in that palette are complementary colors, so they're all meant to blend together no matter what color combo you choose.
And the whole eye look will come from this one palette.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it does look really good.
I need to figure out what to No, I need to figure out what I actually need to get No, but I do. I actually need to